Shohei Ohtani, my favorite baseball player. I need to know what it is like for you managing this sensation.
Actually, it's easy. He takes care of everything. He knows what he wants. He knows how to get his work done to get what he wants. He is an incredible baseball athlete where he's able to do things on the fly. He'll create stuff on a nightly basis, whether it's on the mound, at the plate. You saw him last night. He wasn't surely going to try to bunt, but then he said no, and then he smokes a pitch. He's just a really good baseball player with a high baseball intellect. We communicate every day between me, him, and Ipe, his translator, and we talk. Not elongated conversations, but find out what he's up to, how he's feeling, what he thinks he can do on a particular day, and then we roll with that from there. And I think that's a part of the success this year is how simple we've kept it. It's a real simple conversation daily, and that sets up the next day. And he's just a unique talent. Obviously, that's an understatement, but it's all on him, man. It's how he makes it really easy to work with.
What's his interaction like with all the other players then, with that language barrier?
I tell you, everybody talks about the language barrier. It's really not there. He's trying real hard, and he's able to communicate in English, just like me when I try to communicate in Spanish with my guys. That I throw my 2 years in high school and 2 years of college out there, and they understand enough, and I keep trying to learn more, and that's what he's doing. They giggle. He giggles easily. He's compared to last year to this year, when last year was just stone-faced all the time and a little bit too serious. This year is the exact opposite, and the players and him, they interact so well. So the sense of humor is there. The interest in learning the English language is absolutely there, and so the guys they get along greatly, and he is a big part of the reason why. Obviously, not just on the field, but the clubhouse, how he handles all this really makes it easy.
I know how incredibly level-headed you are, but do you ever sit back and think about just how lucky you are to be where you are right now to manage this incredibly unique talent?
Listen, I'm grateful for a lot of things. I do believe I've earned the right to be here over a period of time, and that's really important to me, as opposed to a job handed to me for whatever reason. I came up through the minor leagues. I think that's the right way to do it. I've been a scout. I think that's the right way to do it. I've learned from some of the best that have ever done this. And then I get opportunities in different cities, and then I get this chance right here. And I do believe my ability to interact with Shohei is because of what I've learned over the course of the years from a lot of great coaches and managers. Experience, feel being the gift of experience. I've been able to go through all of this, and I get here. It's not just him. I mean, how about, Michael Trout's pretty good too, and we're going to get Anthony back. Jared Walsh has really ascended. And then while these guys have been injured, look what's happening on the field with a lot of guys that have not had opportunity. They're doing really well. But I am very grateful. I feel very fortunate. But from my perspective, it's really important to me that I think that I've earned it.
Can he be the MVP even if you're not one of the top teams in baseball? Chris Brockman, of course, Red Sox apologist, has made some other comments about whether or not he thinks Shohei Ohtani could be the MVP, right, Chris?
Well, I just think there's a difference between valuable and outstanding, with all due respect to what he's doing. It's tremendous. We've obviously never seen it before in 100 years, but, 500 team against a team that's 25 games over 500, I'm just saying, there's a difference, in my opinion.
Yeah, the other team probably has a more balanced team, possibly. They possibly have a lockdown bullpen. They possibly have kept all their players healthy all year, and he can't control any of that.
Of course.
That's all semantics to me. For me, if you're in the dugout or in the clubhouse with this fella on a daily basis, and you get to watch this, it's the most valuable player in baseball. I would argue that with anybody. Combination of hitting and pitching at the level that he does, and not just hitting. It was like his 37th last night with 81 RBIs already. And the game that he pitched the other day against Colorado, once again, nobody does that. Nobody's done that, ever. So at what point would you then consider him for the award if it's just contingent upon the rest of the group? I mean, I remember Alex Rodriguez winning an MVP with Texas when they were in last place, I believe. And I agreed with it 100%. I never, at that point, I said, my God. I mean, I saw him when he was a baby in instructional league with the Mariners in Peoria, Arizona. I think, my God, I mean, I've never seen anybody go to his left that well. And then he just kills it in Texas and then wins the MVP, and he deserved it. So I think it's all semantic. Let's say, what's your philosophy, what's your belief, what religion do you believe in? And then you can argue that point. But I think there's no question he is the MVP for me.
Are you surprised what he's been able to do on the mound? Just able to keep that focus, not while still playing every day in the outfield?
As a DH, but that's what I'm talking about. It's what he's doing is so unnatural. Right. And not only that, just think about this too. He plays the day after he pitches. Now, you ask anybody that pitches, I think I'll go back to my high school days. My whole right side of my body was sore the next day. I mean, sore.
Right.
And this is his last pitch the other day. I think it was 99 or 100 miles.
100 miles per hour in the seventh inning.
Yeah. Right. And so that requires physically coordination and just pure strength is really unheard of. It is. And then play the next day and play well the next day and want to steal bases the next day and looking for the green light all the time. It's just, you watch a Little League game and you watch the best player on the field. You go, wow, that kid's really good. There's the best player on the field in a Major League game every night he plays. So that's what I'm saying. It's different. I don't know the next time you're going to see this. It's not lost on me at all. Obviously, you're hearing what I'm saying right now. But you got to be with it every day to really appreciate the full flavor.
Yeah, and the mental focus, too, because obviously he's studying his at-bats to get better in that aspect, and then he's also has to study himself on the mound to get better in that regard, too. It's just kind of remarkable.
He's an artist, Dante. He's always creating. He is. I've often thought that I had this line of artwork a couple years ago, putting the art back into the game. I had the Mona Lisa as the centerpiece. She has eye black on. She's got batting gloves on. And this guy is an artist. I'm telling you, because we can give him all the scouting reports that we have, but when he gets to the mound especially, he is going to create based on what he's seeing and what he's feeling. And hardly anybody can do that. Let me put it that way. Hardly anybody can do what he can do nightly by just all of a sudden throwing out his cutter because the slider's not working or vice versa. I can't find my split in the first 2 innings, but he'll drop it on you in the sixth, and it'll be outstanding. My fastball command's not working here in the second inning. Let me just go to all breaking pitches. He's got great feel for what he does. And again, that's you got to watch it. You got to see it nightly. Matty Wise, our pitching coach, has been concerned on different occasions, and I said, listen, just leave him alone and just watch what he's doing because it's unexplainable. He has feel that nobody else has.
You have to wonder, how does he keep it up? How does he keep up the energy? It's incredible.
Yeah, you're right, and that's what I'm saying, because he plays when he's not pitching. And I know it's a DH, and I know he's not necessarily standing on his feet, but he exerts a lot of energy. And then it's the work that he does to stay sharp, whether it's in the cage. He doesn't hit on the field, which I love it. It's one of the most overrated things we do in our game. Everybody wants to see this extra work on the field all the time, especially this time of the year. I think that it contributes to us getting better. There's always a point of diminishing return setting in, and I don't like when guys get arm weary. He does that. He throws very lightly in between starts. It's not this elongated. It's like when you go to the practice team in golf. You hit a couple good shots and just keep swinging till you swing poorly, and then you stay there another half hour to try to swing better again. He knows what he's feeling, and he knows when he needs extra this or that, and he does. But he handles it. He cannot handle it better. I'm telling you, he cannot handle this whole thing better. And I love working with him in regards to all this. And believe me, I'm following his lead.
From a sheer love of the game perspective, Joe Maddon from the Los Angeles Angels here on the Rich Eisen Show. From a sheer love of the game, do you like watching him hitting or pitching?
Oh, good question.
Oh, I really enjoy the at-bats. And right now, I mentioned it last night, it's so unusual. They're going to come after him hard every time, obviously. It's so unusual to see a hitter when he gets a strike get his A swing almost every time, meaning that it's full-fledged. It is the back wall of the ballpark swing. Hit this ball as hard as I possibly can. There's not this check swing involvement. It's incredible, his ability to get off his best swing on a pitch that he likes. And then beyond that, he's taking his walks. He's able to shut it down when it's not a good pitch. And that's what I'm saying. Stay out of his way. Don't get in his head. Don't give him any thoughts right now. Let him just play. He's playing baseball. This was that everybody should seek. All of us that overthink things at times, you really need to appreciate what he's doing and how he's doing it, because that's the way it should be done. Pure joy for the game. He's a gym rat baseball player, and he does it absolutely properly and correct.
Joe, it's the sound off the bat the ball makes. The one 2 nights ago, it just sounded like a cannon.
No lie. I'm telling you, when he hits them, and they did bring that up, we all brought it up in the dugout. It was that loud. It's a different sound. It's like an explosion. There's a few guys that are able to do that, and he's at the top of the list. I guess he's hit more home runs, 450-footer better this year. The other one that said 463, which I still think is an artificial number. I don't care what they say. I mean, where that thing would eventually land was beyond that.
Right.
I don't understand this stuff, and they tell me it's accurate. I don't always believe everything I hear. So it's incredible to watch, and it is loud as it gets.
Yeah, the exit velocity too. I mean, in all your years in the sport, can you compare that sound to someone else? I mean, obviously Mike has done it, over his career as well. But
yeah, I mean Bonds. I mean, when I saw Bonds and Griffey coming up, A-Rod could do that on occasion, but I don't know. I wasn't with those other guys on a daily basis like I am with Shohei. It's different. It's just different. The home run last night, ball a little bit down and away, and he literally flicked it, and that was a bullet to right. I don't even know what that was off the bat velocity. Every time he barrels it up, man, it is going to get hit extremely hard.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.